I've been riding in off-road vehicles in places like out here in Johnson Valley and Moab since I was way before I could drive, and mainly before I can remember with my dad. I was out here in Jeeps and stuff like that. Then once Polaris RZRs came out, we got into those, and every year for the past 11 years. My dad's been doing King of the Hammers, and I've done it the last 3. One of the biggest things when you're rock crawling is getting the right amount of ride height, because you want to be able to get over the rocks without hitting skid plate in a lot of areas. On race cars and play cars, we're running 32-inch tires with 15-inch wheels. Bead locks are a huge part of it, as well as I like moving up to 15-inch wheels on all my cars. With the suspension components and all of the brake calipers, brake lines, everything's getting bigger on these cars. So running 15s will give you a lot more clearance for all that stuff, just in case you happen to get, a rock in there. It's not really going to cause any damage. You can also mess around with tire pressure a lot. You can air them down, air them up, and find that fine line, because you don't want them too low, but you also want them low enough to be able to grab and kind of flex a little bit in the rocks. Having bumpers and skid plates and all of those things combined and basically protecting your car as best you can is what it's all about, because in the end, that's stuff that you can take back off or just ding up, and it's not really going to cause any harm. In a lot of races like King of the Hammers, the whole time we're beating up the side of the car actually too, because there's big boulders next to you that you can use to actually pivot the car, and you turn into it. And thankfully we have covers for the side or rock sliders that take that beating, and then you can turn the car. Choosing your line in the rocks is probably the biggest thing. It takes some time to get to a point where you really can kind of see that line whenever you're on a trail, but practice makes perfect out there. Having a spotter is huge. You can't see all 4 of your tires out there, so having someone that can kind of look around the car, maybe say, hey, I need to throw a rock here under this tire, and you're going to go right up it. Knowing where you're going and using stuff like Ride Command is awesome to mark your trails and kind of remember where you're going, because there's so many trails out there and it makes such a big difference. One cool feature that no one really thinks about when you're rock crawling is you can use that front camera add-on and the rear camera that comes with them to actually kind of see where you're going. So sometimes in those tight rock trails you don't want to get out and you're trying to back up or go forward, and you can use those things to make sure you're not banging the rear or front. You just have to know your car really well. You have to have good car control and really be good on the gas and brakes, because you're going, say, 1 mile an hour, but you're going over these gnarly boulders and you're dropping down things, and you have to have the right kind of finesse on the brake and the throttle at the same time. In a lot of these rocky areas like Johnson Valley, you have tons of desert, so you want to have a car that can both go out there and hit whoops at 80 miles an hour, and then all you do when you get into the trails is put that thing in low, make sure you're in four-wheel drive, and climb right up. A lot of times you're out there winching, so having a bumper with a winch integrated into it is huge. It's mainly when you're going up a trail when you would need it, and it's just one of those things. Sometimes you get to an obstacle that the car can't quite get up, or even if you just want to be a little easier on equipment, basically the best thing you can do is have a rope that isn't quite the winch rope. It's something that you actually put over a rock, and then you attach your winch line to that, and then basically you're using the rock to pull your car up. The new winches that Polaris have, it's really cool that you use low to actually pull the car up nice and easy, and then once you unhook that thing, put it into high, and it will pull the rope in extra quick. Out in a Polaris RZR, it's really cool because I like the sight line that you have in the cars, especially in a Turbo S. Actually see like your front left tire, and your passenger can see the right front. You're obviously not going to be able to see the rear tires, so if you can stick some mirrors on that thing and position them correctly, a lot of times when you're calling up stuff, you can just look in that mirror really quick and see what your rear tire is doing, because sometimes all it takes is looking at your rear tire, moving over a couple inches, and you could get right up an obstacle. There's a lot of things that people do on their car that other people don't. It's kind of a creature comfort type of thing. So, on my car, I love having a roof, obviously, and especially here in California, a lot of times when you have that sun beating down on you, it could definitely make it pretty hot out there. I like having full doors, so usually I just put on those Polaris lower doors to make full doors, and that kind of makes you feel a little bit more enclosed in your car. sometimes you don't really know if you're going to be out there till too late. The stock headlights usually work fine, but if you want, you can put a light bar or you know, a 10-inch bar on your bumper, something like that, and that'll help a lot at night. I like to put 5-point harnesses in them. Cinches you down a little bit better in the seat. And then usually whenever I get into the rocks, all you gotta do is loosen up those shoulder belts a little bit, and you're able to kind of move around a little bit more and kind of see what your tires are doing. And then there's tons of different things you could do. You could put an ice chest in there and to keep, you know, some snacks and some water to keep hydrated. Sometimes you're out on the trail for a while with your friends, so having that type of stuff is big. And I always throw in a tool bag just in case anything has to happen on the side of the trail there and you got to fix something up. Also, a big thing is kind of a rider's choice if you want to put a spare tire on the vehicle, or you can pack in the glove box or something a plug kit as well as a little air compressor. Coming out to the rocks is super fun, and you kind of make a day out of it, and it's cool because it's a friends and family type thing, and you're helping each other out get up some of these obstacles, and you could spend, you know, your whole 12 hours or whatever it is out there going, you know, 5 miles climbing these rocks and going up some nasty trails with your friends and family.